WOLFSHEAD by Robert E. Howard, narrated by Ben Tucker.
WOLFSHEAD. Fear? Your pardon, messieurs, but the meaning of fear you do not know. No, I hold to my statement. You are soldiers, adventurers. You have known the charges of regiments, of dragoons, the frenzy of wind-lashed seas. But fear, real, hair-raising, horror-crawling fear, you have not known. I myself have known such fear. But until the legions of darkness swirl from hell's gate, and the world flames to ruin, will never such fear again be known to men. Hark, I will tell you the tale, for it was many years ago and half across the world, and none of you will ever see the man of whom I tell you, or seeing, know. Return then with me across the years to a day when I, a reckless young cavalier, stepped from the small boat that had landed me from the ship floating in the harbor, cursed the mud that littered the crude wharf, and strode up the landing toward the castle in answer to the invitation of an old friend, Don Vincente da Lusto. Don Vincente was a strange, far-sighted man, a strong man, one who saw visions beyond the ken of his time. In his veins perhaps ran the blood of those old Phoenicians who the priests tell us ruled the seas and built cities in far lands in the dim ages. His plan of fortune was strange and yet successful. Few men would have thought of it. Fewer could have succeeded, for his estate was upon the western coast of that dark, mystic continent, that baffler of explorers, Africa. There by a small bay had he cleared away the sullen jungle, built his castle and his storehouses, and with ruthless hand had he wrested the riches of the land. 4 ships he had, 3 smaller craft and 1 great galleon. These plied between his domains and the cities of Spain, Portugal, France, and even England, laden with rare woods, ivory, slaves, the 1,000 strange riches that Don Vincente had gained by trade and by conquest. Aye, a wild venture, a wilder commerce, and yet might he have shaped an empire from the dark land had it not been for the rat-faced Carlos, his nephew. But I run ahead of my tale. Look, messieurs, I draw a map on the table, thus with finger dipped in wine. Here lay the small shallow harbor, and here the wide wharves. A landing ran thus, up the slight slope with hut-like warehouses on each side, and here it stopped at a wide shallow moat. Over it went a narrow drawbridge, and then one was confronted with a high palisade of logs set in the ground. This extended entirely around the castle. The castle itself was built on the model of another earlier age, being more for strength than beauty. Built of stone brought from a great distance.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?